To our final conversation for the evening. The Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Naje, has resigned following allegations of certificate forgery. Reports revealed discrepancies in his academic and NYSC records. President Bola Tinubu accepted the resignation as investigations confirmed the documents submitted during Naje's vetting were unverifiable by issuing institutions. Naje denied wrongdoing but said he stepped down in the national interest. No replacement has been named yet. Cardi, here we go again. Now, the resignation of the Minister of Technology, what does it say about the vetting process for public office in Nigeria?
I think it just shows that we need to do more, we need to do better, we need to be watertight in what we do. But I have a very strong disagreement with those people who say it's only in Nigeria. I don't know whether you're used to that balance.
Well,
it's only in Nigeria that things like this can happen.
To them as well, yeah.
You know, now we've had ministers who had resigned when there are controversies like this, and guess what? It's practically the end of their political career. But people will say Nigeria has no shame. Our leaders have no shame. These guys have shame, and that's why they go into oblivion when things like this happen. You understand? I have a lot of sentiment for Kemi Adeosun. Fantastic woman, doing very well. But because of this thing, we had to lose her. That's to tell you that, hey, everybody, you need to learn from our mistakes or from our, taking things for granted. So this is also one. And we know that I will say it on national TV, for a premium times, I know that they must have done a good job. They must have done a thorough job before that publication will come out. So we know that without wasting much time, this was going to be the end point for the minister. So it's a lesson point, but the vetting authorities need to do more.
All right.
They need to be more circumspect.
Now that you've highlighted that, now critics would argue if resignation is enough, or how about the minister faces legal prosecution?
I totally agree. There must be a prosecution. Because it will not serve as deterrent that we have talked about. I see a bit of political statement from the presidency trying to say that his political foes are at work. That was not necessary.
Absolutely.
The fact is, the man has been caught red-handed, and it's not enough to just accept his resignation. He needs to face the music, he needs to be prosecuted, it needs to be taken to the court of law, and that's fine for me.
All right. There's no way we will talk about this without talking about how the system have collapsed to a point where things like this could be taken through a system and nobody detected it up until that very point. Where do you think this loophole would have come from? Where is this collapse emanating from, where someone's academic records would go through a system supposedly vetted by humans and it will be allowed to fly, and you go to the Senate, you are screened, approved, and you start that job, and under 2 years something else happens? Where do you think that loophole is, and how do we correct it?
It's usually about humans. As long as humans are manning that position, that's why I said there should be more emphasis on the systems, on the technology.
You talked about technology the other time.
You understand? It's not really about, oh, you're my brother, you're from my state. Because what is looking like is that most of these cases we've seen, there are political interests. That's why they get dealt with, or the media will have to expose these people. You remember the story of Stella Odua, the bulletproof cars and all those things. The media, will continue to act as watchdog, especially when the authorities that should do their job refuse to do their job. Who will do that? But what is important, and I remember those days, where some people would get into university in their 300 level, there will be a review and they will discover that some people fake their papers. But we have gone beyond that. The system should be able to track you. The system should be able to confirm and speak to those universities even before you get admission, before you go for service year. How did you serve? Without a certificate. I think that's one of the requirements. So there is a work for NYSC to be done. NYSC should also be called out to ask who was the person behind this. Because like they say, as long as human beings are behind the system, there is likely going to be compromise.
All right.
It's shameful.
Okay, now talking about the magnitude of how it happened, I was quite surprised. Now, if we're going to look at individuals and their personalities and how they come up with these kind of things, where would you lay the blame on for someone to come boldly, present a forged certificate to run for an office? How do you assess such a situation? Because you have said human beings are in charge of some of these places where these things go through. But as an individual who is going to serve the people and take up responsibilities to serve your country, where has that moral gone wrong, where you have so many breakdown in your attitude to even present something of that magnitude to go for office?
It's hydra-headed in the sense that, yes, the young man may feel, you know what happens now when somebody has a spillover, you know, the shame, the insults, the social stigma that comes with it. A lot of people are short-sighted to realize that, excuse me, after 1 year, I'm going to become a graduate. After 1 year, I can be anything I want to become. But a lot of us were so short-sighted to think that, forget it, it's not one paper. Don't worry, I'm a smart guy.
Scale through it.
I'm a business guy. Sometimes I don't even need a certificate to become a millionaire. How about those who didn't go to school? You begin to deceive yourself. And there's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up.
Yourself.
You begin to feel that, excuse me, what is it now?
Nonchalancy, yeah.
I beg, like some young people, I don't want to say these young people, some young people believe that school is a scam.
Yeah.
It is not.
No, it's not a scam.
Get your certificate completed.
Yes.
Get this thing done. It could be painful.
True.
But please, bear in mind that it's where you're headed that matters, not where you are currently.
Thank you so much for your time on the show. Cardland, it's always a nice time talking to you.
Always my pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Of course, that's our show for today. But before we go, let's tell you that the views and reactions